I'm Sail Magazine's editor-in-chief, Lydia Mullen, and I'm here in Clearwater, Florida at the Aquila headquarters. And it's a little bit of a surprise to be invited down here because Aquila typically makes powercats. But I'm here with Lex, John, and Elaine to talk about a surprising new announcement from their company. Do you guys want to tell us what's up?
Yeah, so thank you for coming and making the trip down here, Lydia. Appreciate it. And it's exciting news for us. It's been in the works for a number of years now.
So we are announcing right now the first sailing cats from Aquila. Is that?
Yeah. So we're super excited. It's a whole lineup of sailing cats, not just one. So we've got a lot on the drawing board for the last couple of years, and it's going to keep rolling out as we go. Yeah.
So you don't often hear about a powerboat brand that's kind of moving into sail. Sometimes you hear about it going the opposite direction. Why did you decide to do a sailboat? Where did that come from?
Good question. Great question.
I'll jump in here and answer it first. But there's a lot of sail cat brands that are starting to build power cats. So we've already got that foundation of the power cats. So we're going to start moving into the sail cats. So it's a little bit different, strategy in terms of what the others have done, but. We've proven ourselves as the number one power cat builder in the world for power catamarans. So now it's our time to start going after that sail cat side of things as well.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Is there anything, when you're looking at the sailing cat market as it is there anything you're like, oh, that's missing? We definitely want to do that on our boats because we're not seeing anyone else do it.
Mm-hmm.
What exciting things can we expect to see from these Aquilas?
Yeah, I'll touch on one point is our direct access from the flybridge down on our new 50 that we're going to be launching, which is one very popular item that brought the Aquila yacht line up was that direct access to be able to get back into the bow. It's an amazing feature. You don't realize how much you use it until you have it, and being able to get down there so easily. So on the 50, you have that access on both the port and starboard side down there as well.
And that's just access from your flybridge to your bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Helps
So of course you still have the access down into the cockpit and whatnot as well. And then Lex, you can touch base on the solid foredeck area up at the bow area and what we've done to enhance that space, because we felt that was a big opportunity for us to start pushing on that side of things as well. It opens the boat up a lot, and the use of the forward cockpit area is amazing up there now with what we've done. So Lex, if you want to touch base on the bow area up front there.
Yeah, sure. I think it's an evolution that is, it's been happening in the sailing cats, and it's picking up a lot of steam with other brands. So, we're not the innovators of it, but we do have strong background in knowing how to do a forward cockpit from our yachts and our sport boats and how to, really make it very, very comfortable up there. We're pretty happy to see the other sailing boats really also going after this area, but probably not once you see our boat, they're going to be somewhat behind us, because we've really integrated the whole area very, very well. That to John's point is also being able to walk down from the flybridge easily, and that's got many really useful points, like when you're dropping anchor or picking up a mooring ball, or wanting to unfurl the Jenniker or whatever it may be, is that if you can quickly run from the helm, pop on the autopilot and go down there, or with a simple communication, moving around of kids. It's when you're at the helm, you've actually got folks sitting and being very comfortable in the front there and secure. It's really, really nice. So we've taken it to a whole other level, this front cockpit right now. Now, I think what I do want to stress here is that when you have a front cockpit, obviously you can't have narrow bows. You need full bows so that when you're going through a big sea, that the boat is not going to knife down through it, which typically most catamarans have very, very fine entries, which means that they don't quite have the buoyancy to lift. And we also learned that from tower cats, which will run up into big waves at 20, 30 mile an hour. And of course in knots, it's, we can bring that back down there. But So I think just to say, okay, we're going to have a cockpit is one thing, but you've got to make sure that the shape of your boat is going to have the ability to rise up with the waves. Otherwise, you are just going to slice into it and you're going to take water over the front, which is a typical sort of sailing cat. I think that also speaks a little bit to, where have we positioned the boat? So the position of the boat is not in the HH or Outremer or those type of boats. We're clearly in where Lagoon, Leopard, Fontaine Peugeot, Bali are. So we've really entered the market right into that area. But we feel that we're going to bring a lot more. Our background in charter, and we've got even Garrett on our team that has been a charter boat captain on various different brands, has had fantastic input to the project as well. And we just bring this whole bow area is something very, very different. Of course, we're going to have significant drainage there as well because, some folks may be concerned, okay, you're going to get some water in there. Yeah, you got to get it out. And I always like to refer to with the Leopard brand when I had insisted on opening up the cockpit in the back, cutting out because the older sailing cats used to have to walk up, about 10 steps and then over, then down into the cockpit. And I said, no, people just want to go through it. And people say, oh, that's dangerous. Well, you can find me a new sailing cat that's not really open to the ocean. Everybody's adopted that. And this is going to happen in the front end of the boats as well, and particularly the more, what I would call the cruising production segment of the market. The high performance segment is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very different.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would also add, there's some really unique features on our series that are going to be quite different from others, and one that really stands out to me is each cabin having its own dedicated access, entrance and exit, which is really unique.
Yeah.
And so I think that adds a lot of privacy also for guests on board, being able to come and go from their cabins as they please. And then also on the aft cockpit side, it's on the first model that will be debuting, and the others, the aft cockpit is tremendous size, and we've incorporated some things from our features from our powercats into the sailing cat, such as our bar top opening window. That's synonymous on all of our yacht lines, so that's going to be a new feature, which is really excellent for guests and owners to sit there and have the social zone that connects the salon to the bar to the aft cockpit. So there's a lot of unique things on our product line that we're bringing that are going to set us apart.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see it. I understand that the Aquila powercats kind of come from a sailing cat DNA back from the charter days. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the powercats. Well, we started at moorings really, where we just we actually started a powercat brand called Nordic Blue, and we actually had monohulls first, and we had amazing problems with them, and we put some of the customers on the sailing cats and said, don't worry about that stick up there, just go out and use the throttles, and people came back and said, wow, this was the best charter vacation that I've ever had. And so we evolved that with the Leopard, but they were fundamentally sailing hulls that we turned into powerboats. However, when we started Aquila, we've always said we're a pure power catamaran. And it is a very different approach that you have to take if you're sailing all power. I mean, the whole game is totally different. And so we built the reputation of Aquila on the really good running powerboats that can really take on big seas. And then, so a lot of the, and I can talk about Leopard or other brands as well, but they've all now evolved in that way where the powerboat hulls are really more real powerboats because it's hard to do both. In fact, you can't really. So, and I think that's, talks to our sailing approach as well. We really, there's the whole design, and that is done by J&J. It's really, really good naval architects and come from a very strong background of sailing. And they've been our partners on some of our powerboats. And so they bring in, we ran a lot of testing, a lot of CFD. But again, our position is very much the middle. It's not performance. It's a comfortable boat that can take on any type of conditions and is very balanced towards, if you want to take the layout for charter, we take a layout for home. I think one other thing that we haven't touched on yet is the fact that our very initial approach on these sailing cats was also electric. So I think that that's something that is, John can talk to very, very closely about, but the moment we started talking about electric, it opened up a different layout. We have different ability, and we have two different ways of going with the boat in terms of power as well. And that also led us to, hull shape, weight distribution within the boat because of, amount of battery, size of generator that you need, because a lot of electric boats fundamentally they're hybrid really, they need a big generator. And so, yeah, I think that, so your original question, yeah, they evolve, but yes, fundamentally you cannot really take power to sail or sail to power. You really need to do a very holistic approach on the boat. I mean, that's what we've done. It's very holistic. The comforts that Elaine and John have talked about, yeah, we've learned that from powerboat people, and fundamentally they're no different from comfort on board a boat. And what you're looking for when you're, either on a marina or an anchor. So, we're bringing in a lot of that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, John, you mentioned a 50-footer, but can you talk about the range and what sizes we can see?
Yeah, so our first boat will be a 50-footer. We're going to be launching that at Miami show in 2026. So we'll have that at the beginning of 26. And then following that, we'll have the 44. And then we've also got a 63 in the works right now as well. So it'll be a 3-model range that we're starting out with, which we knew from the very start what sizes we wanted to go after. And as Lex touched base, on all of those models, we're making sure that we are bringing the electric hybrid systems into the boat from the very start of the project, because as he said, you got to make sure that you have the volumes for the batteries and the electric system and the bigger generator and et cetera, and also the solar panels and all that. So it's one of those things that from the very beginning we have to make sure that we touch on each of those models that we have coming out. So again, the 50, 44, and the 63. So a whole range.
Something for everyone.
We're going to be growing that more, yeah.
And I would just add something key that John said is that the 50 will be debuting at Miami. So these projects are well advanced. It's not as though we're making a statement and we're years and years out. This is happening quickly. Very quickly. So we're excited.
Excellent. That's really exciting. Well, I'm sure we'll be testing them for our top 10 competition soon. We're excited to see them. So you guys have this phenomenal facility to build these cats. Can you talk a little bit about the cats themselves and sort of, what we might see on them in terms of layout, in terms of construction and usability?
Yeah, so the layouts on the 50 in particular, we wanted to make sure that we maximize the cabin space inside of the boat as well. So what we did was we made sure that with the electrical system that we pushed, our cabin lengths as much as possible. So what that did as well is with the bulkhead spacing that we had, we were able to do a configuration of either a 4-cabin, a 5-cabin, or a 6-cabin version. The great thing with the 6-cabin, which would be, more on your charter side of things, is that you do have the ability for, you could have 2 or even 4 crew having their own space outside, which they would actually access from the bow area. So they have their complete separate entrance. So they don't even need to be a part of the, the rest of the people that are on charter as well. So, and they're comfortable cabins as well. They're not just little bow 4-peak cabins. They've actually got a real cabin with a head, in it and everything. So, and then the 4-cabin, you've got the port side of the hull, which takes up the majority of your cabin space and your bathroom area as well. But in forward of that, you've actually got an entire utility workspace area, which you would also access through the front deck area. So
Interesting.
so we've utilized every inch on the boat. It's always a game of inches here and there.
Yeah.
So it's we're really happy with where we've ended up. It's not wet heads. It's actual it's actual walk-in showers with your toilet and everything like that. So for a 50-foot boat, we've maximized everything, and just being able to open up the salon and galley and the forward door and everything. I mean, the boat just really opens up, so you get an excellent ventilation through it. You've got your little bar area where you can socialize with the person that's at the galley as well. So, just taking that whole, making sure that everybody can really socialize easily throughout the boat. And then, of course, we've got the whole fly bridge up there as well. So a whole nother separate area to the boat. So. Anything you guys want to touch base on that as well?
I think I said it earlier, but if not, each cabin, is really unique, has its own access. So you don't have to share a hallway with another guest mate or guest cabin. You'll have your own entrance, which is a very unique feature, I think, and I think it's going to be very widely accepted in the marketplace. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just on that, on the cabin entrance from the front cockpit, when most people mention, access from the front of the boat, they think of the drop down deck hatch where you drop down onto a ladder. No, we have proper access with a opening companionway, which means that it's easy to get in and out. You're not sort of having to climb down this little fireman's ladder. You actually walk down into the cabin, which makes it very different from anything out there in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And making sure that we have the amenities on board too. So it's making sure we've got a good air conditioning system on board, chilled water system, and then also a full size refrigerator. That's very important for everybody nowadays. So making sure we've got that, and wine cooler, ice maker, barbecue, all those things that people want now on their boats. We had to make sure we designed that in from the start.
John's job is getting harder and harder because everyone wants their boat to be like their home now, or like their car, and so it's actually getting very complicated.
Complicated,
To build
yeah. I can imagine. And it also speaks to an ethos of how people are using the boats, right? They want these amenities, but the market you guys have typically been designing for is a powerboating audience, and do you kind of think of that sailing market as being different or sort of more the same? Do they have more in common than is different, or tell me about that audience?
Yeah, I'll start, and then John and Lex
We'll
will
go down
definitely have more to add. Clientele, yes, I do believe that they're different. You got one client that's happy going 10 knots or so, another client that wants to do 20 plus knots. So two different mental thought passages on how they want to get from point A to point B. But holistically, all of our clients have the same ambitions, which is getting out on the water with friends and family and traveling and going cruising. And fundamentally, that's what our focus is how do we incorporate our clients' needs and wants, but putting that in a package that not only sails well for what it is, but then gives you all the creature comforts that you do at home or in your car, and how to incorporate all of that, which is very difficult for the designers these days. But I think at the end of the day, yes, we all want to be on the water, and we want to have as much enjoyment out of that we can.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing is, from a design perspective, we're all boaters. We come from heavy boating background. John and I were born into it, luckily, from Lex, grandfather. And then we've got the team with us that's just making this entire Aquila team really strong. So understanding our clients' needs, but not just understanding, listening to our clients, and that's really fundamental to what we do. That's been very successful for us on the powercat side, and we're going to continue to bring that into the sailcat side.
Yeah, and
I can just jump.
Oh, go ahead.
I can just jump
Jump
in very quickly. Is what's really important is where we position our sailing cat as well, because we know that the performance sailing cat is a different breed compared to the cruising catamaran. The desires of the owners are quite different, of the customers. So we don't claim ourselves to be a high performance sailing catamaran, but we ride in the middle of the production big volume market for sailing catamarans. We ride in the middle of that, which we have some really unique and great offers to provide there. But going back, I mean, the romance of sail is there, and that's what we believe. The boat must be able to sail nicely. The handling, the positioning of the winches, the boat, being able to climb up onto the boom to be able to sort out the mainsail, the refit, all those sort of things. We have a team that understands that. They've all done it. We've done it. We understand drop weather. We understand all those areas of what's going to make a decent sailing catamaran, and in the market position that we elected. So that's where we're at, and I think it's really an amazing product that everybody's going to see.
And I think for me, it's just to touch base a little bit more on the team behind as well. I mean, the guys at J&J, they're all sailors. They all go sailing once a year. They go to Croatia and spend time on charter boats and whatnot. So they get to see firsthand what are the charter people looking for? What are the private customers looking for as well? I've been sailing since I was a young kid and was on the U.S. windsurfing team for a number of years. Elaine did Trans-Pacific crossings. Lex obviously started building boats at 15 years old. Gareth, he's been a big captain on board big sailing catamarans. Sebastian, who's our project manager over there. Ure, our chief designer. I mean, I can just keep going on. Nick as well. I mean, every single one of us that have been a part, have had our hands in this design concept. We all come from sailing. So yes, we're on the powerboat development side of things as well, but we also have the knowledge of sailboats and sail catamarans as well behind that. So yeah, it's we got the knowledge behind it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's a dream team. Dream team.
Yeah. A natural evolution.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and just to add to that is selection of dealers is very, very important. Catamaran company. Dealers are have sold probably more sailing catamarans than anybody in the world. So we're really, really happy with that, and the work that Nick does. He was very much part of the distribution network for Lagoon, brings massive knowledge on that side, and is going to select the best partners possible, because at the end of the day, building, designing, developing, at the end of the day, we have to take care of the customer. And, customer is supreme, and that sits with every decision that we do, through design, through delivery, through customer service and warranty.
Yeah. Well, fabulous. Thank you guys so much for your time. It's such an exciting announcement.
Yeah.
No, we're looking forward to it. So, I mean, we've got Annapolis coming up.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, we'll be physically debuting the boat at Miami International Boat Show 2026, so coming up this February.
So soon.
But for a sneak peek, to learn more, we're going to have a display up at the Annapolis Sailboat Show with Catamaran Company. So if any of your clients or our future clients want to come and learn more about Aquila and actually see a scale model, we'd be happy to meet you at the Catamaran Company booth and learn more.
I'm sure you guys will be very busy.
Yeah.
In the meantime, folks can go to aquilaboats.com for more information, and soon sailmagazine.com for reviews and our top 10 nominees for 2027 when this boat will be coming out.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for making the trip. Yeah.